Congratulations, you made it to day 7 in our 7-day chakra warm-up challenge. Today we're looking in the crown chakra, the top of the head, and here we're going to look at our connection to all and our belief system. We look in here. There's a lot of fold overs where we have the top of our head at the floor, so if that's difficult for you, then you can make some adjustments. Take care of you always. Okay, so here we go. So here we are again, our last day of this challenge. Find your way to your mat. We'll start seated to close us out today. And so you can start just by bringing your attention inward. You know the drill now. Closing your eyes or a soft gaze. We just start to become aware of what's happening inside of us. Letting go of our outside world for now. And as we find our centered breath, that will bring us in here. And so as we start to look into the crown chakra, we start to sense our belief system. This is kind of like our motherboard or operating system that talks to the whole body, the whole system. And so maybe to start, you might want to just give a little scratch to the top of your head just to give yourself a little sensation. Sometimes this crown chakra can be seen actually above the head, so it's a little bit outside of the body. And so bringing a little sensation here might help you anchor through this whole practice. So as we find this little scratch, you can set an intention for your practice today, for your day. And then you can let that go, and that feels good. And then just as our opening breath, we're going to also move our hands and arms. So you can bring your hands to prayer position. Our inhale is going to take it up overhead, and the exhale, we're going to send that down. So if this doesn't feel comfortable sitting, you can also do it kneeling. And then your arms have a lot of flow. Okay, so here we go. We're going to inhale. Sending our arms up, exhale, we let that go down, coming back through to center. And inhale, exhale, we send them down, back to prayer. Inhale, sending it down. So just find your flow. Relax in your jaw. Relax in your face, behind your eyes. Feel the crown of the head. And let's do 3 more breath cycles. And if you're kneeling, you can find your way down to our seated, or you can just rest there if that's where you've been. We're going to bring our hands into a little dome, a little clasp above the head. And with your eyes closed, just start to sense and tune into this place. You can imagine a lotus flower sitting on the top of your head. We like to visualize this 1,000-petaled lotus. It's just infinitely unfolding. can play with how high up you take your little dome, or maybe it's low down towards the crown. Just become very aware of this area of your head and above. Great. And when you've become pretty sensitive to this spot, you can let your hands go down to your lap. And maybe bringing your mouth open for an exhale. You just sense that top crown of the head. And with it, we can imagine some gold or white light coming down from above, and let it flow through the crown and over top of your whole aura space. So about an arm's length around you, we can imagine this egg, and this golden light just comes down and cleanses through. So any old, stuck and negative beliefs, limiting beliefs, you can let that flow down, be cleansed through this light, this golden shimmering light, and it's going to flow down through your whole space around you and eventually start to fold underneath you and go down through your grounding cord. So if it helps to use your hands to really flow with this and visualize it, please go ahead. You're essentially combing through this auric space and letting it go down through your grounding, and make sure it's like a little drain going down. You're not just pooling it underneath you, you're letting it go down in a stream through the base of the floor, down through all the layers of the building that you're in, till it goes into the earth below, and you can send it all the way down into the core of the earth. And so just feel this flow of light that's coming down from above and sending it through your space, through your body, all your organs, your bones, your muscles, and down through the floor, through your grounding, into the earth. And see if you can imagine yourself bright, shining bright. Sense your inner body. How does that feel right now? And then eventually we can let this image go, sending it all down through the grounding. And just sense your breath. And you can blink your eyes open. Notice if there's any difference in your perception, how the light looks, how your room looks as you're looking out from your body, perceiving the world around you. All of these things that you've chosen to have in your space. We sense the space in between, what makes the room the room. How there's potent space between you and all things in your room. This is how, through the Crown Chakra, we're connected to all things. Great, and we're going to just find a little roll through the neck, So we're going to go back and forth. You can find some opening through your neck here, but notice how your crown feels as you go through this. You can start to find your exhale with sound. Maybe this calls for a little massage today through the shoulders and neck. Opening the face. Great, and we're going to take our right foot, and we'll just start to open up through the hip creases here. So you can kind of play with the rotation here, opening it up. Find that voice. And then we'll bring this into your arms, what I like to call baby leg. And just find a little rock. Noticing where you're holding. Tuning into that impulse to take care of nature, take care of what the earth has, take care of each other, take care of yourself. Finding that exhale. And then gently letting the baby down. Find your left leg, opening that up. Finding that range of motion here, playing with that. Still becoming aware of the crown as we do this. And we'll find our wrap to find our little rock here. Letting go on the jaw. Caring for this one thing that's been with us our whole lives, our body. Great. And with that, we can let this baby down. And just come to center. Just notice how that feels. And then we're going to shift so our feet are towards the top of the mat. We're going to do a little rock back and forth through those hips. And then we're going to fold over, but we're going to bring in a circular motion with our breath. So if it feels good to tuck your chin, you can do that. If you want a flat back, you can play with that. So here we go. On our inhale, we're going to go down to a forward fold. Our exhale, we're reaching up and bringing that back down. And then our inhale takes us back through that forward fold, stretching out, reaching up on our exhale and bringing that back. Inhale. Our exhale can be open-mouthed if that feels good today. And again, inhale, we reach down. Exhale, we go back up, reaching up, bringing that back down. And one more. And great. Let's just have a little side bend to one side for good measure. And the other. Notice your crown. Coming back through center, we can find a little twist, looking back behind you. And to the other side. Beautiful. We're going to place our feet on the floor and come up into a forward fold. And notice the crown hanging down. Start to bring that voice, exhale to the crown of the head. You can halfway lift here and back down. We're going to bring our hands to a prayer as we send our hip creases down. We're going to find our chair pose. Now, if the prayer doesn't feel good today, you want to stretch out, you can do that. We're going to flow with this. So we're going to, on our inhale, coming up, and sending our arms out to the side, coming back down into our chair on the exhale. So here we go. And into our chair. Inhale up, exhale into the chair. And so find your flow with this. And one more. Inhale, we rise. Exhale, we chair. And then we bring our hands down to the floor. We're going to go back into a down-facing dog. You can bat out through the feet. Noticing that crown shining down to the earth. We're going to follow the crown over to a plank pose. Nice strong core. Sending that crown forward, ahead. And we're coming down to the mat, belly to the mat. Come up through your cobra. And back down. We're going to find our way up into a tabletop. We're going to do a little mock headstand. Unless you want to do a headstand, go for it. I'm going to pretend. So we're going to bring up the top of the head slowly, gently down to the mat. Your forearms will join you. Our hip creases are up towards the sky. And you can settle your forearms anywhere that feels really supportive of this position. Find your breath, your voice here. Be very gentle. We're not putting any pressure through the head. You can press down through the hands and the forearms. Beautiful. And very, very slowly we're going to move into a rabbit pose. So you can walk with your hands back towards your knees. Your hip creases are going to go back to your feet. And once you've got into a comfy spot, we're going to send our hands back to join the feet. And just relax here. And one more breath. Slowly, very, very slowly, we're going to find our way into a child's pose. So you find your forehead towards the mat, opening up through the knees to either side of the mat, and finding your child's pose today. You can rock that forehead back and forth, say hello to the third eye. So very close and connected to our crown. And here you can start to open up your face a little bit more. You can start to play with any sounds that come out here. All the things. Make yourself laugh. Find the play of the child as always in here. And then coming out of this pose, we're going to find our way into down facing dog one more time. Then go in the head. You want to give that a little shake. And very slowly we're going to walk our hands back to our feet, into our forward fold. Shaking out some sound here. And then slowly, with sensation through the head, we're going to roll this back up with voice. Until you find your way back to standing and come to the center of your mat. And we're just going to go through a little bit of each chakra because we're here at the end. So you can bring your hands to prayer or even just to heart, or maybe you want them at your side. There's also an option to float your hands around each chakra as we go. Okay, so closing your eyes, start to tune into your legs and your feet. You can press into the earth. Become aware of your root chakra at the bottom, the base of your spine, base of your torso. Inhale, just bring some of that red light back towards the back and out the back. And your exhale, let it flow forward. So we're kind of like cleansing that chakra here. Going, inhaling towards the back through that light, exhaling towards the front. And then coming up just under the navel into our sacral chakra. Find that orange light. Inhale, breathe it back. Exhale, let it flow forward. Great, and then up above the navel, in our solar plexus, we'll find our yellow light. We inhale that back towards behind us, and the exhale, we bring that light forward, cleansing through the front. Nice soft bend in the knee, let go in the jaw. And then up through the chest. In our heart chakra, we'll find our green light flowing in through the front, out the back. Exhale, flowing from the back, out the front. Beautiful. And then we'll find our throat, even through our mouth space, including our ears. And here we're going to flow some sky blue, bringing it in through the front, out the back, and exhaling out from the back to the front. Nice. And then going into our brow, our third eye, on our forehead, or in our forehead. We're breathing our indigo light. It's kind of like a navy blue sky, night sky blue. In through the front, out the back, and exhale from the back to the front. Cleansing through our eyes. Again, making sure you're not gripping in the knees. In through the front, out the back, and exhaling through the back, out the front. And then the last time through our crown. And you can go from the front to the back, like you're sweeping across the top of the head. Or if it feels good to go from up to down, we can also try that. So we inhale and exhale. This is a purple or violet light. And then if you haven't, let's breathe some of that white light from the top crown of the head, a little outside, down the whole Sushumna channel that's holding our chakra system, and out through our feet and back up through the feet, going up our body, out through the crown. And one more time through the crown, breathing that down all the way out the feet. through the crown. Great. And then just resonate. How does that feel? Great. Let's bring our knuckles to our jaw. We'll just open up through the jaw, a little massage here. Relax in the hips. We'll have a little shake out with sound. Stretching out the tongue. Ha. Opening the face. Ha. Little tap out sound. Ha. Little shake out sound. Ha. And then we'll drop some post here. Ha. Little motorboats in our lips. The eyes are alive. And one more. Find your yawn. I'm lifting that soft palate. Find your ha-na-na-na-na-na-na. Again, eyes really alive. Ha-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. This you can feel in the crown of the head. Ha-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Great, and we'll just do an E sound from, we're going low up to high and back to low. So it sounds like E. See if you can feel that sound, that vibration in your body. E. One more time. E. Cool. Okay. So let's bring a little sensation into the crown. We're going to go into our 3 states of this chakra. And we're going to open it up and start to imagine this vortex of energy spiraling up towards the ceiling. It's like you have a fountain flowing on the top of your head, getting bigger and bigger as it goes. So once you feel this flow, where your attention goes, your energy's flowing. So now you have this fountain on the top of your head. And find, who's this person? What does this make you feel like? We'll find an F sound here. This might make some energy happening in your eyes as well. Find your voice up here. Ah. Ah, it's very regal. Ah, ah, and our line here is, I reside above it all. So on that, I reside above it all. Does that make you feel? I reside above it all. There's other lines you want to use here. Intriguing. Okay, let's bring that down. So we'll go into our underactive here. So the underactive, we can kind of have like a cap on our head, and now the vortex is spiraling down in through the crown. And again, this might cause you a furrowed brow here. So there's no liberating current. It all just gets stuck in the head here. So once you feel that connection, you can walk that around. Who's this person? Find your F sound. Letting that contraction be connected to the breath. Find your voice in the ha. 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 Connecting that to that contraction in the mind here. Ha, ha. Great. And our line here is, the universe is a cold place. The universe is a cold place. How does that make you feel? Notice what your intuition's telling you here. universe's cold place. Any other lines you want to work with here? Okay, let's let that go. So give it a little scratch. And you can do a roll down if you want. Just to loosen that up, have a little shake out here. Find a little play, a little silliness, a little grounding, press into the earth. And so from here we find our overactive, underactive, till we find that nice peaceful balance. In here we can bring our violet, purple light in here, or even a white light. Lots of space, but you're still in your body. Space in the mind, open mind, playfulness, humor. So when you connect to that, you can walk that around. Find your F sound. Connected to this space. Find your voice in the ha. Can that be a real sigh of relief? Great. And here our line is, I am one with all. I am one with all. See if you can really own that. I am one with all. Find the wonder in it. Anything else you want to play with here? Very nice. Okay, and then we'll come back to close. So notice during your day if, you're going into a lot of heady and you're getting really spacey up here, feeling a little overwhelmed. Sometimes our whole body, our whole energy comes up into the head and it's way too much thought in here. Or if we're limiting ourselves and capping this off and going into that more stubborn place. Or hang out in the balance. And so let's bring our hands to our body, heart, and our belly. And you can close your eyes. That feels good. And find that gratitude in your body for this moment right now. You've completed these 7 days. Congratulations. Notice how your body's feeling. Thank your body for getting you here today. We can find gratitude for being alive right now. Letting that gratitude permeate through your whole being, all of your cells. And gratitude for life and all that there is. Beautiful. And with that, we close out. Thank you so much. I have so much gratitude for you guys to have come on this journey with me. I hope it's been meaningful for you as much as it has been for me. So thank you, and I hope to see you again soon.